So, without further ado, I say let's jump into the Crituitous RP adventure. Alright, now, if I remember rightly, we ended the session in a very tense situation with some battle. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that with half of the party missing. But previously on Crituitous RP, our heroes had finally made it to Mesro. And what did they find at Mesro? Nothing. There was definitely some magic at Mesro. And there was definitely a strange atmosphere in Mesro. And when they got there, they found themselves drawn towards a single ziggurat with a lone man sat on top, invisible, trying to keep to himself. That lone man was Artus Simba. After introducing himself to the group explained to him that they were hunting after some red wizards, so he helped them get up to where the red wizards were actually keeping themselves, in a hidden airbase floating above Mesro. Zola and Grigori left the group, separated, and went into the heart of the Red Wizard camp, Red Wizard stronghold, temple as it were, by themselves. Now, the Red Wizard temple had symbols, imagery, and homage to the legendary Lich Lord Zaz-Tam. That is something that Zola and Grigori would know and remember. Inside, they saw a lot of red wizards and a lot of liches, a lot of people all working as a evil moon base type situation would look. They had maps and everything all over the place, and in the center of this base was one single enormous and powerful lich lord. Grigori went straight up to him, tried to convince him that he was one of them, failed, but managed to become one of them in the process, or at least a potential initiate. As it turns out, the liches, at least the ones at Mesro, are not involved in the Soulmonger, but know of the liches that were. And according to them, they're as much a victim of the Soulmonger as anyone else. If something else is feeding on souls, then they can't. So they wanted some help, as it were. Grigori now knows that somewhere in Chult is a machine known as the Soulmonger. And that machine is sucking up and devouring the souls of all people who die on the material plane. Their souls are currently being fed slowly to some creature. The liches want that machine destroyed so that they can actually feed off of souls again. Grigori and Zola then left with the threat of doom and a snap of a finger, a show of power, and we rejoin the party after they've rested for the night in the heart of the jungle.
We never got a name for that lich, did we?
Nope, you never got his name.
Lich number 2.
Lich number 2.
Number 2. So, we've got a lot of player NPCs. Which of you is going to take which?
I'll take Greco if that works. Just
Okay.
because I'm friends with Steven, and if I screw up his character, he won't get too mad at me.
Fair enough.
I can try to play Carmen. I am somewhat knowledgeable about both magic-y things and swordplay-y things, maybe?
That leaves Tower for me.
Okay. I will take Shargo and Artus, since they're NPCs, and all of the creatures that are attacking you. So this is happening as the tiny hut that was used to protect you guys while you were asleep is disappearing.
But I will say,
finished.
before it goes away, I presume we're all awake, and Grigori focuses on reminder. Either myself or Zola can be scryed upon at any time. So try to stay away from me if you're going to talk about anything pertinent. Do not use your names around me, because we do not want anybody to have that information. And the Lich knows my name is Grigori, but thinks Zola is named Lockley. So please refer to us thusly.
Okay. So, let's jump into some battle. Let me grab all of the creatures that are attacking you. It looks like a flower and a bunch of albino dwarves. I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please.
I do not have access to Grigori's character sheet.
You do not have access to Grigori's?
Excuse me, Greco's.
Okay.
Too close in name.
Let me pull him up and give you access. There you go, Matthew. You should
There we
now
go.
have access to his sheet.
Thank you.
Roll 20 is taking its sweet time.
I'm cool with that because I'm trying to absorb the battle tactics of an entirely new character.
It's okay. This encounter won't be too deadly.
See, I've read plenty of articles and lived it once. The TPKs happen when you least expect it. Just saying.
I've only had one to date.
Though that would be hilarious if everybody came back and was like, hey guys, we all died. Sorry, you missed a good week.
All right. Is anyone missing from the turn order? I'll give you guys a moment after we do so. I got Grigori, Averine, Greco, Tower. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Carmen's not on there.
Okay. And Carmen got a 22. Okay. Carmen and Tower right now are on a plane.
They should have landed by now and maybe joining us shortly if they can get internet. So they'll be on as soon as practicable.
Yep. Dedicated players. All right. So would you guys like a moment to to think about the character sheets you've got to deal with?
I think I'm just
Greco,
gonna vicious mockery all the time.
Greco is surprisingly similar to Grigori, except he's lawful good and Grigori's not.
All right. In which case, Carmen gets to go first. What you see as the tiny hut disappears, Carmen, Zola, is a flower just open and bloom on the edge of the forest clearing that you have. And then as it blooms out, a bunch of albino dwarves just start rushing out from behind it.
Did
So
they have
what do you do?
bloodthirst in their eyes?
Possibly, yeah. Roll an insight check if you'd like.
Carmen.
They definitely have bloodthirst in their eyes. They want to kill.
I would like to cast Shatter.
Shatter. Was that your attempt at her accent?
Yeah.
It was a good attempt.
It was
All
an
right.
attempt.
Go ahead and cast Shatter, and where are you placing it?
Right in the back of the middle dwarf.
Oh, okay. So making sure you get all of them. You'll get the yellow musk creeper as well. All right. Constitution saves from everything in that area. I'll do the creeper first. Don't forget to whisper these rolls. DM's only weapon is whispered rolls. Come on, why is this? Roll 20 is being very slow for me, and I'm very sorry. Can't save. Okay, a 17 from the Musk Creeper. Now the Musk Zombies. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, the DC is 17. I have 2 successes out of the zombies.
The DC is 15.
Yeah. Oh, 15. Yeah. Still, only 2 successes out of those. So those that succeed take half damage. So the flower takes that's 8 points of thunder damage, and the zombies also take. Most of them take 17. 2 of them take 8. Okay. While I'm doing that, is there anything else from you, Carmen Zola?
No, but Zola's not in the turn order either. I'm just now seeing.
Oh, what did you roll?
That was a 26.
Oh, so you should have gone first.
Yep.
Okay. Let me add you in. So what would Zola do?
Let me check. We are going to dash and hide.
Where are you going to dash to?
Over. Way over here. There. Find some nice shrubbery to hunker down in.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
No problem.
No problem.
Natural 20.
All right. As you go running off, Carmen throws up the shatter. Shargo leaps over the lot of you and runs straight towards the flower. Not really thinking too much. He's just going to try and stab it 3 times. And I believe all 3 of those will hit as he stabs away. 14, 12, and 15. Okay.
Come stab away, come stab away, come stab away with me.
Don't get the reference. Go ahead, Grigori.
That's a song. Oh, Grigori, me. Grigori's ticked, so he's going to drop a fireball, and he's going to drop it in such a way that it hits everyone but Shago. It's a 20-foot radius, so I guess he's going to drop it over in this corner over here. Gotta click the right tool, drop it about over there. And that is going to be 3.
Okay. So we need to make sure your spells are set up properly.
I went through these for an hour this morning to fix them, and it did not apparently go the way it was supposed to.
Fireball is not a spell attack.
It's a dex save. It's a DC 16.
Yeah. But 31 points of damage, that's right. Okay. So...
All right, I'm working on it. We're close. DC 16. Point is 31 points of fire damage.
All right. So regardless of whether or not it succeeds, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dead zombie, yellow musk zombies, and even the flower is destroyed.
Grigori felt so impotent yesterday. This is a real pick-me-up for him.
It is absolutely destroyed. Greco is going to have to go somewhere else to try and get a piece of that flower. All right. Now, the other two, let's see if they make their saves. So, dexterity saves, 1 success, 1 failure. So, the succeeding one is the one in the back. All right. Anything else from you, Grigori?
Nope, that is it.
All right. Aberreen.
Well, how's this for a wake-up call? She says, for no reason, apparently. And then whips out her wand and casts a firebolt at the remaining, and does a solid 6 points of damage.
Yep. It hurts. It singes the zombie a bit, but not enough to kill. Anything else from Aberreen?
Nope.
Okay. Tower.
Tower does not like fire. And he will cast Ice Knife, because it sounds like something different.
Okay.
So
that's a 13 to hit.
yeah.
The Ice Knife, I do have frost, will cascade over Greco's shoulder and hit the yellow musk zombie. As it hits, the zombie needs to make a con save, which it succeeds.
So on the target hits, on the hit it takes 1d10.
And then afterwards there's an explosion as well, right? Hit or miss the shot, then explodes the target. So when the shot hit, the yellow musk zombie dropped to 0 hit points. But it rolled a con save and actually dropped to 1. Hit or miss the shot, then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save or take 2d6 cold damage. So, dex save from the zombie.
15.
It's a 1. So he's going to fail on that. How much damage?
2d6. On the 9.
So 9. So he's got to make another con save, which he succeeds. So, not quite dead, this zombie. Anything else from Tower?
He will take a stance next to Shago.
Okay. For some reason it looks like his token is smaller. Maybe I'll take a look at that. All right. Next up is Artus Simba. Right. What you doing waking me up like this? Can he move up to that point, 30 feet? Yeah, he'll move up to the last zombie and stab it with his dagger. There's a 22 to hit, which is going to hit and deals 7 points of piercing damage. See, the yellow musk zombie makes a con save, succeeds the con save, stays at 1. Artus is a little bit annoyed by that, so he stabs again. Hits. Zombie saves. Stabs again. Crits. Finally, zombie cannot reform after a crit. The zombie's dead. All right.
Artus, that's a very fancy dagger you got there. It looks as if it would be a dagger with a name. So fancy does it appear.
Yes, says Greco.
Oh, this old thing? Nah. It's just a little trinket. It's called Bookmark.
Cute.
Mm-hmm. Watch this. He holds it in his hand, starts spinning like a needle, and then pointing.
It's like a compass.
Exactly right, little girl.
Is it
It is
pointing
a-
north?
No. It points. Let me double check.
It doesn't point to Tortuga, does it?
No. Yes, it does point north. Yeah. It points north at all times.
We have a compass.
You got a compass, which is one thing that you were asking for, but the reason why I didn't give it to you before was because the specific magical trait of a magical weapon that does that. So, all right, I'm going back to sleep. What do y'all want to do today?
Well, Greco, I think we'll have to keep looking for that flower, unless you can recover anything from the burning husk.
I'll try, but Grigori burned that up incredibly. Not that I'm unhappy about it, but I'll see what I can find.
Greco, you don't sound so good today.
My throat's a little scratchy. I might talk less than normal.
All right. Well, Greco will try, but there's nothing he can do. When a flower has been burned to a crisp, the ash cannot be reincarnated.
Cast Revivify. I kid. All right.
So, what would you guys like to do? You are currently a couple miles west of Mesron, but honestly, it's up to you what you do and where you go now.
Before we move on, do the dwarf bodies have anything interesting on them?
No, as the dwarf bodies die, whatever magic was keeping them up and animated falls apart. Their flesh starts to just wither away and fall off the bone. These were undead creatures. They were zombies. As such, they just fall apart. Nothing to them.
Are dwarves like a common occurrence in the jungles?
Shargo will speak up. Well, there are dwarves over by the Cobalt Mountains. There is an old mine called Hakhama, which belongs to the dwarves. But these ones, they were not quite dwarf. They were little undead.
Well, Greco, if you're looking for these flowers, and if they got to the dwarves, maybe the mine's where you can find more of these flowers.
We should keep that in mind if we go nearby. The soulmonger may be a little more important at the moment, but if we have the chance, I'd very much like to go look into that.
Zola, would you mind recapping for us on a map, perhaps, where you saw the concentration of the Thayans? Is that
Grigori walks away as Averin puts that out there and just leaves. A good far enough away he can't hear them, but can still see them if in the event someone tries to murder him and he needs help.
I'll go.
I mean, Lockley.
I gave it 2 days, so maybe that was a little too generous. Okay, everybody, come here. I'm gonna gesture in for a group huddle. We're all gonna lock arms and get in a circle here. Okay, so
Grigori, make a wisdom save.
Glad to do it. As he yells, "Get my stuff packed, you peasants!" Just a straight wisdom save.
Just a straight wisdom save.
That's Grigori, not Greco. Sorry, I got a bouncing character. So at 12.
Okay, 12. All right, cool. Carry on.
all right. So the other cluster of lights was just below the River Ocean Star. So we could. It's in an uncharted area, but I can tell that it's probably like a couple of days directly south of the end of the river's ocean star.
Can we see the map
So-
again?
I will as soon as Roll20
Oh, I see.
behaves.
Reloads. Sure.
Yep.
And I'll just put this out there because Grigori is not going to be part of this conversation, but he had talked to Zola in Campfire RP, and he had said, if the Red Wizards are looking for this, and there's a ton in that area, maybe that's not where to go, because if they've already got that area blanketed, they'll find it before we do. Maybe we should put out feelers elsewhere.
Yeah, sure, but maybe that's the other faction.
Well, sure. And so that was just the recommendation Grigori put out there, but he's not in this conversation. So though he's ostensibly the leader, according to the Lich, you guys are going to decide where to go, and he has to follow you because he can't complain without getting caught.
So yeah, that's where all that is. If we wanted to try to hoof it from here, it would be weeks. We could try to hop back on the ship and then go all the way back around to Belawarian or Nyanzaru.
There's
But,
also
dealing
there's
with
also there's also a bay on the south side that Avery, didn't you say the captain had some sort of contract over there?
On the west and southwest coast of the jungle, or of the island, a peninsula. I don't know what Chult is. It's one of those two. There were bays that the
Archipelago.
Yep. There were other bays that the captain had business in.
So I've tried to move you over to the player's map.
We have
See
arrived.
map. It's populating. It's blanking out all the areas we can't see yet.
Okay. Cool. So you guys are just like one hex away from Mesro. Jahaka Bay to the west and Shilku Bay to the southwest are those two locations that you learned about. A connection to the server has been interrupted.
Artur, you've been in this area. What do you think? Is it dangerous in the jungles? It's always dangerous, but is there a better way to go? Is there a place we could gather more information that you are aware of?
I'm sorry, boy. What did you call me?
Artur?
Tuss.
Artus. Tortle is my native language. Common. It's just a little accent thing. Sorry.
Right. I wasn't listening. What was your question?
You've been in this area. Do you know of anywhere we could go for more information, or do you have any suggestions on where we might go forward?
Well, you see this here part of your map that's kind of blank?
Yes.
Y'all want to go there?
But have you been there before?
I've been out and around.
Because there's a lot that's blank. So if you can recommend which blank part of the map to go to.
Well, I do hear Camp Righteous off to the west has some ruins there which have a fair bit to pick up from, but I don't have too much knowledge of the jungle. I'm mostly stuck to Mesro.
There's a town of the Arakakra called Kirsabal. It is... I'm pointing... Oh, I'm not pointing. I am pointing on the map. There, I am friendly with the inhabitants therein, and they may give us assistance getting from one place to the other.
Shago, how far does this river go into the island that feeds back from Kitcher's Inlet? Does it put us near the center of the island?
Yes, it does. The River Olung, which is that river, goes south further than I have ever traveled. I believe, or at least word says, it ends in the Valley of Embers, far to the south of Kirsabar.
Averine, how did you meet the populace of Kirsaval?
Well, that's a long story. It's part of my backstory, you could say. They're a very interesting culture, and it's part of my mission to explore and reach out to other cultures throughout the world.
And you said they could help us travel around the island?
Perhaps. I am friendly with them. As an avian species, they may have a means for us to travel above the jungle. Although I can make no promises of such a thing.
I'm concerned that if we pass up the visiting to the forts, we're going to lose out on some very valuable information.
My concern would be getting back on the ship and not going back to Portier with the ring.
Y'all ain't taking this ring.
I think we're all in agreement that you are the best bearer of it.
Dude.
Well, and we have a deal to get the ring and take it back to her. And the ring's on your finger, so until you want to go back to her, there's nothing more we can do. So that's up to you, friend. Excuse me, that is Grigori speaking. That is not the right character. Never mind. Nothing was said. That was dead silence.
So if we want to head to one of these other places, then we're likely cutting through the jungle. And if we're cutting through the jungle, then we might as well go to the place where we've already identified as a place of interest. Wouldn't you agree? Or am I jumping to a conclusion without all the facts?
Talking about the glowy lights?
Aye.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the lead is leading us.
If we will have to travel either way, to Kir Saval we can stick to the river, which may be easier than going straight through the jungle. And if they can help us travel above the jungle, that would help us immensely. Time seems to be of the essence. The longer we delay, the more souls may fall to this soulmonger and be consumed if what that lich said is true.
There's also a possibility that if they are able to offer some sort of flying conveyance, if travel is swift, they might be able to provide a means for us to travel to these other camps, Zola. That way we check off all the check boxes.
My main concern is the limited time, like Greco's saying. But yeah, that would be cool if we have a moment.
Well, and Shago, in my experience, it is faster to travel by river or even just along a river than straight through the jungle. Do you think, but Camp Righteous is perhaps a little closer. Which do you think, as a guide, we could get to more swiftly?
From here, Kirsebal is obviously the closest place, but you cannot get to it by the river. The river can only get you so close. You must go through Ataz Muhahah of Muhahah, and down But then the closest you can get to Kirsapal is a day's jungle exploration. And then you must obviously climb the cliff.
Says
Wait.
you. This guy can make us fly.
Joe. But the Camp Righteous, if you do not want to go to the jungle, you would have to sail all the way back around. That might take a while.
How difficult would it be to create a river-worthy raft and to take a river Tairiki back out to the port and then take river Ocean Star? Could we craft a raft?
Yes, I think it is possible to do that. But the amount of time that you would gain by traveling along the river is wasted by how far north you have to go along Tiriki, and then south that you would have to go by Camp Righteous. Mechanically speaking, riding on the river is twice as fast as walking through the jungle. The moment you pass over double the distance on a river, you are wasting time. So,
All right, real quick, just doing some math here.
Carmen, what do you think?
I think I woke up with the flu. My British accent's gone.
So, a quick, just straight line math. It looks like
3 days journey to get to the river Tiriki. 4 days to ride up Tiriki to Port Nyanzaro. 6 days down to Camp Righteous after that. So you're looking at 13 days of doing it that way. Or 11 days to just walk.
But
but
then how far just straight to Kier Sabo?
no zombie jungle encounters.
True. Kirsapal, which does not have zombie jungle either, you can go down the river if you had a riverboat and get there in 6 days and then 1 day, or walk to Ataz Muhahah and down, which would take you 9 days in total. So really, it swings and roundabouts.
Averine, how long
I'm unfamiliar with that expression.
do the Arakocra allow you to fly for? You said something like that, right?
I only speculate that they might be able to do such a thing. I cannot say for sure.
Oh,
I only speculate because they are a winged species, and they conduct business with other species. That they have some way of doing these things. But
well, how much time do you think it would cut down to travel by sky? Like a lot or a little, or do you think that half a week would be worth it?
I think of the benefit to traveling by sky, if it's possible, is not having to worry about encounters in the jungle.
Even if we survive an encounter, if someone were injured, that would slow us down to have to carry them along. And pointing to his shell, injuries could be permanent.
Of course,
Shargo has discussed with Averine once before, earlier on in the campaign, about the ritual of the Dance of the Seven Winds, which can grant as many people as they wish, really, a small group of individuals, the ability to fly as if, like, at the normal pace that they would walk, for 3 days. Okay.
Is that a ritual that could be learned?
No. Oh, well, it is a ritual that can be learned, but only performed by a shaman of the Arakocra. The ritual, the benefit of flying.
Everyone's gonna multi-class.
The benefit of flying is obviously normally traipsing through the jungle. You guys can only make 10 miles per day of journey because it's just thick jungle. 20 miles per day on the river. Flying 24, 30 roughly miles per day flying. So distance is even quicker going through the air. All of these are options.
So we get like halfway there before falling down.
Well, I assume what you're most likely going to do, because you're probably not going to sleep in the air. You're going to fly all day, drop, camp, jump up, fly, drop, camp, jump up, fly, drop, and can't fly anymore. But then you would have skipped over a lot of the jungle.
So I think if that area is the area we want to go in, appealing to the goodwill of the good people of Kir Sabal might help us. The boon of flight is not easily granted. It is a gift that they bestow on only the folks that they really care for, as I understand it. So we may have to convince them of these things. But
It
if
ought
we
to be. It ought to be pretty easy to do that, considering we are on a mission that they probably will want to help with. They probably have people of their own that have been brought back via resurrection.
seems reasonable to me.
So it sounds like we are in agreement to go to Kir Sabal.
And I think because we don't have a boat, we're going to try to do the Ataz Muhahah.
Well, if are we able to craft a raft? Because if we could craft a raft, it might be a little quicker.
Will there be a boat at Ataz Muhahah?
Ataz Muhahah is a bridge.
I want to say Ataz Muhahah as well. All right, I did it.
It is a good place, Ataz Muhahah. To build a boat, do any of you have any particular skills in building boats? Your only NPCs are a person who doesn't like the water and someone who's never really needed to learn how to build a boat. He has other ways of moving around, so...
So I was a boat captain.
Artis, I saw that you made a flower for Carmen. You thought I wasn't awake, but I was. I seen it. Are you able to make an ice boat?
Able to make an ice boat. Let me check. I can make an ice object.
Tower has
Can't
some.
have any moving parts. Must be able to fit within a 10-foot cube. And it has the density and durability of metal or stone.
You can make two of them.
Well, a 10-foot cube, you could make a pram out of that and get a stick and like some paddles. Everyone just paddling along. Canoes.
If that is what is needed, then I can do it. Wrong accent. NPCs. So many voices. Well, if it's needed. Should I make ice boats?
Oh, wait till we get to the river, silly. But
Okay.
let's do that.
Alright. So you guys are going to start traipsing through the jungle towards Ataz Muhahah. Or are you going to go to the water first? Are you going to go back to Mesro to go to the water, or are you going to go outside of Mesro?
I mean, if the distance, Pythagorean theorem, if it's 20 miles to the water either way, we may as well walk at a diagonal
Okay.
to carve a little time off of it.
Sounds good. All right. Then you will walk along the path towards where Ataz Muhahah is. The journey will take you 2 days through the jungle to do. So is there anything that you guys will be doing over the course of those 2 days?
I suppose Carmen will be giving us her tiny hut.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Everine will ritually cast Alarm just for giggles, because she's accustomed to it.
On the second day, I know Carmen isn't here. I have already told Lainey. She will receive a sending spell in the morning from someone who claims to be using the sending spell on behalf of her mother. Answering back, telling her, your brother has come home. He has information about that ring. Apparently it and other powerful magical items are being sought after for their immortality. That's basically what she gets from that. You get the idea that the rest of the world, while you are traipsing through the jungle, are trying to find ways to prolong the lives of the more important individuals. The Ring of Winter being one well-known item that can be used to do such a thing. Okay. As we reach Ataz Muhahah, and that'll be about the point where you get to the water and start to build your ice boats, we're going to take a 15-minute break. I realize Carl isn't at the computer right now.
Yeah, we need our stream guy for that.
Carl, I need a drink. All right.
So, Lockley, how you doing?
Oh, that's me.
Yes, Lockley, my faithful servant, dealing with all these peons, these peasants. I can't believe I am stuck with this ramshackle crew as I follow my destiny to become a red wizard of Thay.
Yes, you hate us so much.
You're the worst.
If you could see the scrying eye, it would be rolling right now.
I should say Grigori's not obviously trying to be too sarcastic, but
okay. When you guys get to Ataz Muhahah, since we're still here, you will see that it is an enormous bridge that makes it over about 75% of the gap. That is a huge cliff. The drop is close to 200-foot drop. Thankfully, you've led yourselves down the water to the point where you're at the bottom, but perception checks from everyone, please.
Go.
ooh, eagle-eyed Carmen.
Okay. Carmen and Zola, your perceptions are pretty good. Particularly Carmen picks it out a little bit better. It makes sense as she experienced the last one as well. At the top of this bridge, right at the center, is another of those statues to Uptau.
Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on. You guys are about to forget everything again.
You guys have entered into another area where there is a statue to Uptau. You are coming in below it, so you're not actually headed up towards it. If you would like to, you can. But you can just skirt it, go down to the river, and build your boats and float away.
Zola/Lockley is going to say, I want to, and if this were any other day and we were on any other mission, I would say definitely let's do it. We gotta do it. But I think that time being of the essence and all. Things like this. Stuff we're gonna have to shave off.
Artis, can you cast fly and build the boats in one day?
My ability to get you to fly is a bit limited.
I'm gonna get Zola up there.
It's not something I can do every day.
Right.
But I could get you up. It would be... I'd have one more opportunity to use it, and then that would be it. Outside of this, I'm limited to being able to cast it only 2 more times.
How much time would it take to hike up there or just climb up there?
An hour.
Grigori thinks he's got time, but he's not particularly interested in the statue, so.
It's up to you.
The gods may bestow a boon upon us if we are able to solve whatever riddle he has for us. On the other hand, if we fail, who knows what the repercussions could be.
Then let's have some of us stay down here and start building boats. And then if there are problems up top, they can come to your aid.
You want to split the party?
Sure. Why don't we have Lockley and myself and Averine go up and check it out, and the rest can stay below and prepare the boats.
I'm going to make a note. Grigori said Averine. Okay. And Artis.
Oh, crap.
All right. All right. Then as we split the party and we go in 2 separate ways, we're going to take our break. Our 15-minute break at this point. Join us again in 15 minutes after we've taken a moment to ourselves as we go through this. But in the meantime, we will have today's Who's That Monster? So type in the chat who you think that monster is, what you think it is, and we will get the answer at the end of the 15 minutes. Looks like we've already got some guesses, so we will see you in 15 minutes. Okay. Bye. All right. Welcome back after that little break. Thank you very much for sticking with us. So, straight into the Who's That Monster. Today's Who's That Monster is a Lich. Reminder, last week, Grigori met a Lich that power word killed someone very close. Now, Orc Machine, you guessed Lich correct, and guess what? You get a prize. So message us, Crituitous RP, send us a message, or message me, Teovanth, give us your details, and we will be sending you a set of dice. All right? So well done there for guessing it correctly. Now, next week, we will be doing another Who's That Monster, and once again, next week there will be a set of dice up for grabs for whoever guesses correctly. So, well done, Orc Machine. So, back to the adventure at hand. We jump in to our heroes actually having climbed up to the top of a Muhahah. So, Zola, Averine, and Grigori. The 3 of you have climbed up the side of this cliff, and are now upon the bridge. From what you can see, there is a stone shrine that stands at the midpoint of the bridge. It consists of an imposing statue of a Chultan warrior wearing a mask, but he's hunkered down like a panther, ready to pounce. Other than him, you have lining the walls, north and south of you, of this bridge, are statues of monkeys, of some primate creature. Some of them have been damaged, others are still intact. All of them are in various different funny poses with their tails wrapped around posts. At the foot of the statue in the center, you guys can see a human skeleton lies crumpled in front of it. The bones and the body obviously appear to have been crushed. What would you like to do?
This looks a little bit more lethal than last time.
Do the bones? Is there like any armor or any clothing, or is it just like bones that have been picked clean?
No, there is cloth, but it all looks kind of mushed and crushed. So you'll have to get closer to be able to investigate, and particularly to see the statue.
Oh, I want to look at these monkeys first. I don't want to get too close just yet.
So,
Oh, I guess you probably roll some sort of check.
yeah, roll an investigation check.
That is my sheet, but I named Greco. Sorry, so that is my 16.
Okay. All right. Looking at these statues, they just look like funny little statues of monkeys. They're in various different poses. The one closest to you appears to be hands over its ears. The one just next to it, hands over its mouth. Very much the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil thing. But that's not it. You've also got others that appear to be laughing at you as they're pointing and laughing.
I take a page out of Zola's book. I'm going to like touch it and see if it's stone or if there's anything weird about it or if it's just a stone statue.
I'll come up beside him and also touch it.
Okay. You touch the statue, it feels like stone. It's a bit cold to the touch, but it's definitely stone.
Okay. If you guys stay here, I'll do a walk around. I won't touch anything, but I'll see what I can see, and if anything happens to me over there, you guys can pew pew pew.
I cast invisibility on Zola.
Okay. There you go. Zola disappears from view. Zola, you begin to make your way towards the statue. As you get there, you notice that the statue is covered in lichen and mold and moss, that's the word, and bits of rubble all around it, except the piece closest to the body that's on the floor. What would you like?
I'm gonna do a 360 all around it here, and see if there's any place on the pedestal where there's any sign of any mazes or maze-like patterns.
Okay. Roll an investigation check. Okay, with a 19. Good. You begin to look and you do notice that, similar to the previous one, there appears to be a maze-like structure. A maze-like diagram around here. However, it looks to be fairly incomplete. You'd have to physically go through and trace everything to be able to find the right path. But there is, around the back of this statue, a hole in the back that is about a 3 inch by 3 inch by 3 inch square gap in the back of this that just looks dark.
I have vision for that. I would like to crouch down and look into it without touching it. See if I
Okay.
can see anything.
You dip down, you look. You can see that the pattern continues inside the hole.
What are you gonna do? Shrink yourself?
No, but you figure you're going to have to put your hand through and into the hole and follow the path accurately. the hole.
Okay. Okay. I'll look to the other side of the bridge real quick. See if there's anything weird about the monkeys there specifically, or if it's the same deal.
Okay. Another.
Can you describe, when you say the maze, is it like tiles? Is it like etched? Like, how is this design like on it?
So it's etched into it. The little walls of the maze stick out of the stone by even just a fraction of an inch. That gives it that physical lip.
And is it one of those where like you would try to be in between two lips, or are you trying to be on the lip? Like, is the line the maze or in between the two? Okay.
In between the two lips.
All right.
Yeah. The statues on the other side all look the same, just like funny little monkey statues.
Okay. We'll walk back, and I'll try to actually stop a little bit on my way back to let them know I'm coming.
Okay.
Don't spook anybody. Hi, I'm back.
Oh, you spooked me, Zola.
I tried so hard not to.
Yes, you spooked me, Lockley.
Are you still invisible?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. So, what you guys want to do?
So, the deal is, everything on the base is like the other. Wait, I don't know. Everything on the base is covered with vegetation. There is a plate in the front center closest to the skeletal form that it does not have any kind of covering on it. It makes me think that it's been touched many times before. And then there's a hole in the back of the statue on the base where there's a maze, and the maze keeps going into the statue.
Well, I guess it's worth wondering if we should try to solve this puzzle or not. I feel I am very clever, and I am particularly gifted in these things. But I already have a boon from this god. If I try to do it again, I'll be twice blessed. Which seems
Remind
to be...
me out of character what your boon was.
I have like a 1d4, kind of like my bless, like the spell bless, but I have that
Right.
on one thing.
Yeah. You can pretty much give yourself the benefit of bless on anything at some point.
I don't. I kind of don't want to stick my hand in it.
Yeah, I think the solve would involve, having some sort of like clay that you would put in there to make an imprint of everything around, then pulling it out and seeing how everything looks before. But like I said, I don't know if it's worth trying to solve it.
Do you have lockpicking tools?
I do.
So, I mean, if you don't want to put your hand in there, can you use... I mean, do you have to run your finger along the maze, or could you use, like, a dagger or a stick, and then, like, just put the stick in there and, like, follow it around?
Don't remember what we did last time.
Well, and Grigori was there, but Matthew was not, so I don't exactly remember what happened last time either.
The way we handled it last time, which you guys clearly... one of the effects of it was you guys were not blessed with the memory of it. Because I was able to make
Grigori remembered. Grigori didn't get
that's right.
obliterated. Yeah.
There was a maze that I replicated as a minor illusion to give myself the benefit of extra perspectives, but then I did have to run my finger across the maze to solve it. I presume this would be similar.
All right, I'm gonna look at. I'm still invisible. I'm gonna look at Grigori, and then look at Averine. Kind of consider. Okay, I'm probably the most worthless among us. I only need one hand, really. Okay, I'm willing to give it a shot, but I'm going to ask for both of your help.
So this bridge is like everyone's down below us, right? So we could just shout off the bridge, right?
Yep. They're 200 foot below you, so it's not like they can come and help very quickly.
No. But Grigori just bends over and is like, "Hey, you worthless cleric down there. Just be ready in case someone comes falling down and needs healing or something. Just heads up." That's all.
Okay.
And I put my hands out, trying to find Zola. Luckily, where are you, lass?
Here you go.
I put my hand. I said, the blessings of the Magister be with you. And give you a guidance. So a 1d4 on a check.
Okay.
Well, I'll start to approach it. But can you tell me what I know? You said that the statue was specifically of a jaguar.
No, it looks like a Chultan warrior, male,
okay.
wearing a hunting mask, but crouched down as if in the position of a panther.
Got it. Okay.
So definitely a human, He's on all fours, right hand raised up a little bit as if to strike. The animal mask that he's wearing has the style or image of a panther on it. And he looks ready to pounce up at you.
Kind of like how it might look if I was down there sticking my hand in his butt.
Almost exactly like it would look how you were down. Yep. You know?
Okay,
So,
well, here we are.
Are you going to give it a try?
Yeah, but not without consulting.
You wear armor, right?
No. Well, yeah, leather. I don't know if you could categorize that as actual armor, though.
It's enough of an armor. I can't give you mage armor. So
Yeah. This is better. Okay. Any advice? You?
So it's raised and we can see it all around.
Yes.
You said there's like mold
mostly
and moss and stuff.
there's moss and lichen covering large portions, so you're going to need to remove the moss and lichen. But remembering tracing your finger along the maze incorrectly fails.
Right. Can Gregory use prestidigitation to just like clean up and remove that moss? Just walk around it and just take it off so it's very clear, very easy to see the maze.
You start throwing sprays of magic. It has no effect on the statue.
Of course.
No.
Okay, it's cool. It's all right. I'm gonna take out one of my cutlasses and drag it across the base to make sure that nothing actually touches anything it shouldn't touch.
Using the cutlass, you are able to scrape away the lichen without any sort of ill effects to you, which does not only prove that you're fine with moving it away, but also you cannot perform the ritual maze pattern with just the dagger. Okay. So, do you begin tracing your finger once you can see the path?
I think so.
All right. Now, this is going to involve intelligence.
Yeah.
So, roll, and this is just for the first little bit. You've then got to go around the back. So, roll an intelligence check. 15. Good. So you're able to trace it and keep your eyes moving quicker than your fingers, in terms of spotting the directions that you need to turn and move in, and you begin to trace the path around. Looks like we just got a message. Jump in. Yeah. So you begin to make your way around, and you get around to the back. Now you get to the point where it goes inside. You reach your hand in. Reaching your hand into the path, you're not going to be able to see the path because the gap is only a 3-inch by 3-inch square. So that's actually really tiny. So go ahead and roll. Well, what would you use to be able to...
So this is where all of her fascination with texture comes into play. She said before that touch is a very useful sense for her. And I'm going to try to use sleight of hand to do this by feeling the ridges and maybe even... Yeah?
Lockley, before you do so, before you go into that dangerous spot right there, I'd like to see if Aloando's head can fit in without busting to the sides to see if he can perceive anything.
Yeah, if my hand's not already in there, go for it.
Okay. So Aloando is going to stick his head inside, or try to stick his head inside.
Yeah. 1 second to switch everyone's
Well, and I'll
screens
say,
around.
while Zola, luckily, is invisible, Gregory's going to hold an action, and the second she becomes visible, he'll act.
Oh.
Hey, folks.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Any chance you can go sideways? There we go.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go.
All right. Quick catch up. They split the party.
Matt split the party.
What?
We will technically let him split the party. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did some
Right.
traveling. We found a statue and said, hey, why doesn't half the party build some boats? Because we have to do that anyway. And the other half can check out the statue. So, Zola, Averine, and Grigori went to check out the statue while everyone else is building boats. So,
Okay.
Why are we building boats?
You're about
What
to
happened?
take a river ride.
What happened to the pale dwarfs?
You killed them all. Fireball.
Yay!
we murdered them all very quickly.
Okay. All right. So
It was a very sleepy battle.
Alawando is going to try and stick his head in to be able to see the pattern that he needs to go through. Right now, they're following the path of the maze on the statue of Uptown. Have Alawando make a dexterity check. This is his ability to keep his head in and view everything without making mistakes and touching the sides.
Okay.
15. Nice. Okay. So he gets in and he now needs to roll a perception check to see if he can see and memorize the pattern.
he has keen senses, so he has advantage on that.
17. All right. Also not bad. So he gets the Alawando now knows the pattern of the maze underneath. Zola's finger is still on the maze on the outside of the hole. What are you doing now?
And so Alawando imparts what he can to Averine, and then Averine imparts what she can to Zola Lockley.
Okay. So in a case of Chinese whispers, or whatever the name of that game is, in the US,
Telephone.
trying to think of telephone. There we go. Trying to think of how this would apply to an actual skill roll to make sure that Zola understands the path properly.
Insight?
Well, I would say that the sleight of hand might work with the advantage of knowing what to expect but not seeing it.
I'll switch to insight if we're doing it this way, though.
We'll go with an insight roll to see if you understand the path correctly, and then you'll keep going with your sleight of hand roll after that. So insight, please.
Ooh.
I'm gonna hang on.
What are you gonna do? Bless
Yeah.
There's Portent.
or guidance? It's too late to use portent.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so an 11. All right.
It might work.
So you feel confident that you have learnt everything that you need to know about the pattern. Go ahead and roll the sleight of hand that has you move through pattern.
Nat 20 to make up for the nat 1.
You start sliding your finger across. As you make it about halfway through, unfortunately, you forget where you need to go next. And you start trying to feel your way, trying to memorize it. Thankfully, or bring back the memory. Thankfully, with a natural 20, which is the only thing you could have done in this situation, you made up for it and were lucky and managed to get out of the hole and then back around the whole thing. You finally finished the maze path, and you are immediately blessed by the god Uptau.
He wanted me to have this one.
He wanted you to have it, but he didn't want you to have help. So, Zola, roll me a d10 for me. One. Okay. All right. So, as you finish the map, the maze pattern, there is a flash of light. You feel yourself pulled away from your body. You can see your body like an astral projection might, and you turn and look at the statue. It's not a person in a panther's mask. It's an actual panther in front of you. The panther then speaks to you. You hear a voice speaking and congratulating you on your attributes and your ability to stay true to the path. Remember to always stay true to the path. And then you feel yourself blessed. Zola, you have one free reroll of anything. Anything that you roll, you can re-roll once. And you do not have to take the reroll value. So that is d20s, that is damage dice, that is anything that you physically roll, you can choose to reroll after the fact if you didn't like it.
I am going to be so persuasive.
Okay. But that is once. So make sure you mark that down, that's an ability that you now have.
Got it.
All right. Well, Zola finishes the path. I need everyone else to roll wisdom saving throws. So, can I get one from Averine as well? There we go. All right. Grigori, is that... are you going to do anything to the 12?
Favorite of the gods. Why not?
Okay. All right. So you both succeed. You both remember everything that had happened. As you are both, all three of you immediately teleported to the bottom of the cliff. Back to the rest of the party. You're pulled down to the bottom, at which point Artus has finished crafting the 3 10-foot long boats that he needs to make to get everyone part of it. I think, 3 will be enough because it's a 10-foot by 10-foot boat.
Presumably while he was making the boat, other people were making paddles, something out of like the local brush and wood.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So then, well done on that.
Tower and Carbon.
Grigori walks away as she says that.
Artur was famous for forgetting these aliases as well. I blame Roll20. Zola successfully managed to solve a similar statue to the one we came across before. And just to remind you, previously, which you of course know, but just to remind you, we're headed down the river to Kir Sabal we'll have to spend the day walking through the jungle. But once we get to Kir Sabal, we'll appeal to the Arakakra there, who may bestow upon us the ability to fly to our destination in the middle of the jungle.
Fantastic.
That's the plan that I'm
Awesome.
sure you remember
Yeah.
crystal clear.
Yeah.
Yes, says Greco, because Averine had known them from before, so that seems like a good option.
All right, okay. This makes sense now. I forgot how we knew about the Anapoca.
And the artist's amazing ring has the ability to fashion things. And he's fashioned some boats for us to travel down the river to reduce the amount of time we have to travel through the jungle.
But you have to be careful with it, though, because it's It's an ice cube in water. It's going to slowly get smaller as you move down the river. Just saying.
I can refreeze it.
There we go. All right.
What can I
Cool. Anything else you guys would do at Ataz Muhahah before you get on the river and start heading south?
Still invisible. I'm just gonna say to everybody, I talked to a kitty cat.
There's no sign of civilization, right?
No, not really. Other than your fellow companions.
Grigori will just walk up again imperiously and say, "What are we waiting for, lackeys? Get in the boats." And I'm not rowing. Sit at the front of one and just sit back and relax. It's for appearances, Carmen. It has to be this way. Just let it happen.
I'm going to smile with gritted teeth going, okay, absolutely.
So
I won't be in Carmen's boat, though. There are 3 boats, right?
There are, well, actually, I'm thinking about how many there are 8 of you. A 10-foot cubed boat could probably fit 3. So 3 boats, 2 of 3 and 1 of 2. Who's going in which boats?
I think tower being quite large, should be in a boat with just one person.
We were going to say in a boat with the ladies.
Well, if you'd like to.
But Carmen, you can join me if you wish.
I can join you. I think it's silly to put you and Artis in the same boat because you can both refreeze if needs be.
Yes, this makes sense.
That's true. I'm going with tower.
Okay. Artis will approach Shargo, and he'll join in whatever boat Shargo is going to be in. Who's going to join Shargo and Artis?
Grigori will hop in that one and sit up front. Because they're big, heavy guys. They're both very large, heavy guys, so Grigori shouldn't add too much weight.
I'm gonna put my hands on Averine's shoulders and shake her back and forth and be like, "Boat buddies!"
Yeah, you startled me again, Lockley.
Sorry, I'm still invisible.
Don't worry, I have magical means to make our journey a little bit easier.
And Greco will ride with you too, presumably in the back, paddling away.
All right. Well, you're going to love my hastily drawn river.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
All right. So everyone get in your little groups onto the river. I should draw it to be a little bit longer.
Zola, are you in the front or the middle?
I'm with these guys.
So Artis, Shargo, and Grigori. Where are you, Grigori? There you are. Okay. So, all of you in this little group, as you begin making your way down the river journey will take you a couple days to get down to Kirsabal. So, Unseen Servant.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll just have Unseen Servant cast ritually from time to time to help us with the boat.
Just
Okay.
pattering away in the back, invisibly.
And as you guys make your journey down, there will be a couple days in. Carmen, you weren't here when I said it to the rest of the group. You did have already received a sending from someone claiming to be a representative of your mother, stating your brother is fine. He got information. Turns out legendary items are being hunted by everyone so that they can avoid this death curse. That's all that he knows but he was involved in something similar.
And was it so? It was him who sent the message, or I can't confirm that.
You can't confirm, because this is someone acting on behalf of your mother. Who
Right.
can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can confirm that it's him that sends you the sending, but you can't confirm the relationship between him and your mother.
Okay.
Right. So it is a little tenuous in that.
Okay.
So, as you're making your way down the journey, you are going to get to a point where you will be stopped by a couple creatures. A couple creatures that I featured earlier will pop out of the water. Guesses as to what it'll be. When it finally populates, Roll20 likes to take its time today.
So have we had a rest since the...
Yes, you guys
Statue?
have had full rests since then. There we go. Finally popped up is 2 water elemental myrmidons.
Oh, if I may correct, I thought we were going the other direction.
Yeah,
Grigori
me
would
too.
presumably be in the front boat of the 3.
With
So if we know-
Artus and Shargo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Grigori would be in the front of the boat.
All right.
So I don't know if y'all want to move back to the north 3 or 4 tiles. There's just more room or whatever you want, but yeah. Ooh.
Ah,
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh.
GM power on the screen. Ooh.
I am the universe. All right. So, as these 2 creatures crop up out of the water, I will like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, no, it's gonna be tricky.
6. Wow.
Man, Greco's initiative is awful.
Oh, Super Mega Kameguru. Thank you very much. That is 1 bit. Crituitous is all powerful. Yes. Yes, we are.
It's because you're not logged in. I'm doing it for you.
Oh.
You're in there. There you are.
Oh, I couldn't. I clicked on Greco, but it thinks I'm Grigori all the time, so I didn't get him into the turn order.
It's because you had your token selected.
All right, let's see if I can fix that then.
Well, I can do it, don't worry. If you've already rolled initiative for him, don't worry about it.
I'll get him in there. Okay, it's a 3. Great. He's in the should be in the order now.
Okay. So, anyone missing from the turn order? Doesn't sound like anyone's missing. All right, so top of the round, as these myrmidons, these armored water elementals, pop up out of the water, Zola, what do you do?
Use Greco's shell as cover from which to hide. And I'm going to whip out my short bow.
Okay,
Presumably fire.
go ahead and fire.
16.
The arrow from the short bow flies through, hits the plate armor on these things, cracks and breaks.
Okay.
are you hidden?
Yeah.
Would that give her
Give me
advantage?
advantage.
You weren't exactly hidden at the beginning of your turn. Did you stealth at the beginning of your turn behind? Is that
Oh, well, I said I was taking it out.
right? Oh,
cunning
yeah,
action
you
to
did. You
hide.
said you were hiding. So go ahead
Yeah.
and roll a stealth check. That'll determine if you have advantage on this. Okay, 18 is enough. You do have advantage. 18 hits for 9
Yay!
points of piercing.
Then 13 more additional points of piercing for that sneak attack.
Okay.
Thank you, Carl.
You notice these creatures are resistant to non-magical damage. So they're only dealt half the
You guys are tough.
damage. Okay. Anything else from you, Zola?
Nope.
Okay. Artus. From range, not really got much of a repertoire. He pulls out a longbow and will fire off 3 times at that first Myrmidon. It's a 20, a natural 1, and a 15. So the 20 is going to hit, but only for 3 points piercing, halved down to 1. Not very good. Carmen, what would you like to do?
Carmen will cast Shatter.
Okay. So I need to roll Constitution saves for both of those Myrmidons.
Casey did a very convincing Carmen earlier while you guys were
First
away.
turn, Shatter. Right. So of these creatures, both of them managed to hold themselves together. They are fairly resilient creatures, and as such, they didn't take. They succeeded the con save, so they take half damage at 6 points of thunder.
Okay.
Anything else from you, Carmen?
I'm going to give inspiration to Tower, because I imagine he's going to probably turn into something and jump in the water. So I'm going to just pat him on the back and go for it.
Not that predictable.
You are a bit predictable.
Carmen, anything else? That's it? Are you going to get out the water?
That's it.
Okay. All right, Grigori.
These boats have a little bit of a keel, like there's a little space, right? So if I duck down, maybe I could get some cover.
Nice.
So it's I mean, sure. Cast Mage Armor on myself, and then just press into the bottom of the boat to avoid getting hit. Try to get cover if I can, and that'll be all he does.
And yes, Super Kamiguru, Super Mega Kamiguru. I'm amazed as well. All right, Averine.
Averine will cast Bless, and she will do so at 3rd level to get up to 5 folks. So
Okay.
let me hit that. Boop.
So who's going to be blessed?
That will be. Let's see. So I don't remember seeing Shago with a ranged weapon, do I?
No, he only has his spear.
Okay. So I will bless Grigori, Artis, Greco, Tower, and Zola.
Okay. So everyone remember that they've been blessed. Okay. Anything else from you, Averine?
Bless is a 1d4 to add to something, right?
To
Yep.
attack rolls and saves for a minute. And I don't think I have anything with the bonus action, so how deep do I perceive the river to be?
Roll a perception check.
Oh.
You struggle. It could be anywhere between 10 to 30 foot deep. You don't know.
And is it 25 feet across, or is it bigger than that?
It varies. At this point, it is 15 to 20 foot across.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The first of the water elemental Myrmidon will swim up to the boat and will actually begin to swirl the water in such a way that it lifts itself up over the edge of the boat so it can see clearly down into the cowering Grigori.
I don't think cowering so much as like tactically taking cover. I mean, Zola didn't cower when she hid behind Greco.
He is going to use his freezing strikes. his Freezing Strikes ability, which uses multi-attack.
So these make the boats stronger, right? Just gonna put that out there.
Yes. They'll make the boat stronger, but you guys not so strong. Just realized that makes 3. Okay, so Freezing Strikes. Each attack that hits deals extra cold damage. All right. So it's going to attack you 3 times, Grigori.
Alrighty.
With its trident.
Come at me, bro.
That is going to be a 23 to hit.
Let me check. Yeah, it hits.
Okay. That'll be, because the extra cold damage, that is 16 points of piercing damage. Well, it's 11 piercing, 5 cold.
Sure.
Okay.
So 16 total.
16 total. And your speed is reduced by 10 foot until the end of the Myrmidon's next turn.
Okay.
All right. Second attack will be a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 10 points of damage in total.
All right.
And the third attack will be an 18 to hit.
Mage armor is worthless. Yeah, you got me.
Okay. This time, total of 14 points of damage.
Ooh, Grigori is in a pool of his own blood on the ground.
Okay.
I am dead.
Unconscious. You're not dead. You're
Unconscious. Yes, clear. I am unconscious.
All right. That'll end the Myrmidon's turn. The other one will swim up 40 foot and do a similar thing to Tower. As he runs up, it will pass him by Artus. Artus can make an attack of opportunity if he wishes. He will do so. No, he won't. He's got his longbow out, so it's not going to help him out much. So the Myrmidon will do the same thing. Using its Freezing Strikes, swells up and will make 3 attacks against Tower. 12 to hit.
No.
No.
Or was it 12 when I needed it?
Super Mega Kamiguru just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. We really appreciate those subscriptions. And Twitch Prime, it's free for you, so yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. 22 to hit Tower.
I want to say no, but yes.
Okay. Right, that's 14 points of damage. It's 9 piercing and 5 cold. And then the last one is a 18 to hit. Does that hit as well, Tower?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Right. With that, that is 12 points of damage, 7 piercing, 5 cold. Okay. That is the end of the Myrmidon's turn. Tower, what would you like to do?
I wish to. So using 20. No, the usual side. I'm going to cast.
Ice Knife. That was also Tower's first action in the last combat this session. So, it's a good choice.
Oh no! That wasn't what I was trying to cast.
Did you do that by accident?
I did that by accident. So I'm trying to use a Mac and scroll. It's a freaking pain in the butt. All right. I'm trying to cast Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. Okay. All right.
Press it, and then you've got to go back onto your page.
So you're going to cast Moonbeam above the one in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. An enormous beam of light just drops down. He needs to make a dex save, I believe. Against
Press that. Do it again. It's because you pressed it so many times. There we go.
There's probably something open behind saying, what level do you want to cast this at?
No, I did it, and it's not. I did it about 3 times, and it's not come up on the screen. So,
Try again.
I'll just tell you what it is.
Is it a dex save?
Constitution saving throw. Sorry.
Oh, con save. Okay. So the Myrmidons roll a con save. The one in front of you rolls a 20. I'm assuming that succeeds?
That succeeds, but he takes half damage.
Okay.
So it's,
And it's concentration. You're holding on to the moonbeam that is above you.
yeah.
Or above it. Okay.
So that's 13 overall points. Radiant damage.
Cool. It's not resistant to radiant damage, so it takes half for succeeding at 6.
Cool. And then I'm going to giant octopus all over as my bonus action.
Okay. All right. Shargo, on his turn, quite grateful that the Myrmidon has positioned itself just behind him. He's going to pull out his spear and go fishing. Two-handed attacks. 23 is going to hit. 24 is going to hit. And the 10 will unfortunately miss. So the two that hit, 24 points of damage, half down to 12. All right. Greco.
Greco is going to do a guiding bolt at the one in front of Grigori because he's concerned that Grigori's in trouble.
Okay. And that misses.
And then he's going to puff up a little bit, seeing that Zola's behind him, and try to keep Zola hidden. That's all Greco's going to do.
Zola.
Okay, so what's the rules about jumping again? How much distance can we cover?
So you are unable to move within the boat, so it has to be a standing jump. Standing distance jump is equal to half your strength score.
In feet?
In feet.
Okay.
That's not the modifier, that's just the straight strength score.
Strength score.
So if your strength score were 14, you could jump 7 feet.
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct.
Is there any way that I can maneuver a cunning action into that to make myself go farther?
So jumping counts as part of your movement. So you can cunning action dash.
Yeah.
And jump as part of that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to crawl up onto Greco and then leap off of him and try to catch my brother's shield on the edge of the ice boat in front.
Okay, so jumping off of one party companion onto another, I need to see an acrobatics check.
That's good.
If
That's
it works,
good.
it'll look great.
If only we had a
it's gonna be bad.
chandelier.
That's right.
Hey.
Right. You leap up onto Greco's back. Instinctively, he kind of kicks back up off the ground, which gives you that springboard. And as you're coming in, Shargo raises his shield to give you something to grab hold of. The boat is a bit tight, though.
Yes, I imagine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the momentum to continue flinging myself past Artis until I land above Grigori.
Okay, so you're now stood over Grigori.
Yes.
I mean, that is an ice boat you're landing on.
I'm very acrobatic.
Ah, very good.
Okay, so that's a movement. That's a bonus action. I think I can still attack.
Yes, you can still attack.
No.
Unfortunately, a 10. Unless you're going to bless and get an 8, you're not going to be able to hit.
I don't think I can get plus 8.
I don't think you can.
Okie dokie.
Right. Artis is going to just kind of lightly tap you on the shoulder. Just bend down a little bit, would you? Would you less? As he will fire 3 shots with the longbow at the Myrmidon. Natural 1 will miss. 7 is going to miss. 24 finally hits for 2 points of piercing because it's resistant. Carmen.
I am going to cast blindness
Okay,
on them.
fair enough.
On the one in front. The one in front.
In front of you or in front of... Everyone.
The one in front of me.
Okay.
And
Right.
Tower, yeah.
So you go ahead and cast that. He needs to roll a con save. He rolls an 18 on his con save. Sorry. His new special tome of foes monsters. They're just too deadly. Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that'll be it.
All right. Grigori.
I'm going to do the thing, Aaron. I'm going to do the
Yep.
thing.
At
Great.
the start of your turn, Zola.
So can I... Oh, yeah. Can I describe it?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Zola, you're standing there, and then you suddenly have this flash pain in your head. You see you're blinded for half a moment by white light, and you feel part of your energy, like part of your soul, get sucked out of you. And then Grigori wakes up with 10 hit points, and you lose 10 hit points. The demand of Nessus. That's an action for me, though. So Grigori is on the ground.
It's not. That is
great.
At the beginning of your turn, while you are incapacitated, you have no choice over who it affects. But at the beginning of your turn, the nearest ally to you within 30 feet takes 10 points of damage, and you gain 10 hit points.
That's right.
You wake up to find Zola stood above you. As we discussed, you have no knowledge of this mechanic.
Right. I'm just awake. I grab Zola's ankle, because I guess she's like standing right over me, and there's just not room in this boat. I grab Zola's ankle, and I cast invisibility again on her.
Okay. She goes invisible.
Then I'm done.
Okay. Averine.
Averine will bonus action cast Healing Word on Grigori.
Okay.
At 3rd level for 13 hit points. I say, "Get up, you devil! You're gonna die!" And then with my regular action, I will cast the cantrip Firebolt.
Okay.
An 18 for 3 damage.
At which one?
Oh, at the one by the octopus.
Okay. All right. So the bolt hits. He takes 3 points of fire damage. Water elemental, not resistant to it in any way. Okay. Anything else from you, Averine?
That's it.
Okay. Well, it is the water elemental Myrmidons in front of Averine. Avarine's just gone invisible.
Zola.
Sorry, not Averine. Yeah, sorry. Zola has just gone invisible. So, ignoring the person that's on the floor still, the Myrmidon is actually going to move around and attack Artus.
Does that provoke an ally?
It's not quite left your melee range yet.
Oh, yeah.
So unfortunately it doesn't. But let's see if its freezing strikes refreshes. It refreshes. So he's going to use his freezing strikes and attack 3 times with the trident at Artus Simba. 10 is going to miss. 19 will hit. 11 will miss. So the 19 hits, deals 16 points of damage in total. That is it for the Myrmidon. The one north up by the octopus. A little bit shocked and confused at the octopus.
It has to repeat that saving throw at the start of its turn, Aaron, for that moonbeam.
Mm-hmm. Its freezing strikes has not refreshed. It rolls a 6 on the moonbeam.
Cool.
So do you want to roll the damage again?
Yep, just doing it.
Okay, takes 11 points of damage. He's looking fairly hurt now at this point. Okay, he will make 3 attacks against the octopus. However, doesn't get the extra cold damage because of the special. So,
Just,
yeah.
no, just curiously, this isn't a shape changer, is it? Because
No, it's not. It's an elemental.
yeah, okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Okay. The first attack is going to be an 18. I'm assuming that hits the octopus.
That does hit the octopus.
Okay. That is 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Second one is a 21. As he's just poking it with his trident. That's another 5 piercing damage. Third attack is a 14. Does the 14 still hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so another 6 points of piercing damage against.
I'm making sure that. Let me double check. Yeah, it does. So nice. Can't hit aliens like that.
Oh, so Tower. What would you like to do?
Tower will attempt to attack with the octopus. This time. Oh, do you want me to make Constitution saving throws for each one of those attacks?
To keep concentration on the... Yeah. Go ahead. DC 10. Just make one. Okay, you're fine.
Cool.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll make the attack.
Is Tower blessed?
Aye.
Yes. So roll a d4. Unfortunately, a 17 is going to miss.
Oh,
It bounces off the plate armor.
he's not technically flanked by Shargo, is he?
No, not technically.
Wishfully.
It's almost like I made sure there wouldn't be flanking in this encounter. All right, anything else from you, Tower?
That's it.
Okay. Shargo is just going to attack. 3 attacks with the spear, two-handed. 11, 14, and 21. The 21 is going to hit for 12 piercing, half down to 6. Not doing so good. Greco.
Greco is going to cast Healing Word as a bonus action on Grigori. Level 1. So plus 5 to him. And then taking a page out of Avarine's book with the Bless, he is going to use Bane.
Right.
And he's going to hit the two of them. Charisma saving throw. That's what they got to make. This DC is 14.
Both of them fail.
All right, so I have to take a negative D4 on any attack.
Okay. I have a D4 ready to go whenever they make attacks.
Great. And that's Greco.
All right. Zola. Invisible.
You okay down there?
Yeah, I feel much better.
Okay. And I will go at it with my swords. That's probably gonna hit.
A 26 is going to hit you.
So, fun fact
Since
about
you
this,
have advantage.
fun fact about the sneak attack is that it has magical damage. Because I have a magical cutlass.
You do have a magical cutlass. So that deals 22 points of damage. That hurts the Myrmidon quite considerably.
I'm gonna slice at it again with my less special.
You're no longer invisible after you make that attack. 24 still hits for 4 points of slashing damage, halved down to 2. Right. Anything else from you, Zola?
Just gonna look around like I should be moving, but I can't.
Okay. Right. Artus has a number of options he could do.
Show us, Artus! Show us what you can do!
It's dangerous to use this stuff, especially since it's a water creature and all of this is ice-based. But why not? He's going to cast Cone of Cold. And hope the water elemental is not resistant to cold damage. Bear with me. But he's going to try and do it with a bit of a flourish. Pull up the stats for Cone of Cold. So he uses the charges on the ring to do so. However, he's going to do it after or whilst jumping overboard. As Cone of Cold creates I think a 60-foot cone. Yeah. Each creature in a 60-foot cone. So he's going to jump up and try to aim in such a way that he gets both Myrmidons and into the water. So he gets the water and not the other boat. Let's see how he does.
The front of this boat is getting pretty heavy.
It's getting pretty heavy. He jumps out of the boat. He's going to end up in the water at the end of his turn. Let's see how he does with his dex.
That's a
Pretty
very
good for
exciting maneuver, Artis.
All right. So the creatures need to both make Constitution saving throws, which the Myrmidons roll a natural 1 and a 20. Okay. They
20
take.
have a penalty from Bane, or is that not?
Bane, is it on
The Bane's
saving
against
throws?
the...
It is saving throws. So let me pull up the dice roller. Another 4 down, so that's 16 down. The DC on this, I believe, is actually high enough. DC 17, so it failed. Both of them failed. They both take a full 8d8 of cold damage.
Ooh.
Good call, Carl. Way to remember that.
As he leaps up into the air, throws down the cold damage. They both take 49 points. It's not enough to kill.
Is it not?
No,
That is
not
some
quite.
good rolls.
But severely damage. All right. That is him done, and he is in the water. Carmen, what do you want to do?
Can I kind of squeeze underneath in between the tentacles? And can I squeeze underneath and then stab?
Yes, you can.
Yes, then I will be definitely doing that.
Okay.
Hang on.
Kind of just push him to the side, poke, and then let him. Okay.
I'm happy to use my reaction to actually lift her up with one of my spare tentacles and have her like poking in from the top.
You just use your 8 legs to step up, leaving an archway for her to aim underneath.
Yeah, that'll do.
And then I'm also going to use a defensive flourish as well.
All right.
Oh, did that not come through?
Attack. No.
No, it didn't come through. What's going on?
Oh, we've lost our connection.
Connection's gone.
Oh, no.
Can you roll it for us, Aaron?
Physically or...
Yeah, if you want to do that one.
Yeah, either way, it's cool.
What's Carmen's?
I'll just throw it. Roll 20 is taking its time. You wanted to do a which attack?
It's a rapier attack with a defensive flourish.
Okay.
It's a +7 on the attack.
Rapier is a 22 to hit,
Yes.
which is going to hit. You also add the defensive flourish, which adds an extra 3 points of damage, and your AC increases by 3. So the damage you deal is 10 points of damage. Unfortunately, it is resistant to non-magical damage, so you only deal 5.
Okay.
That creature is now looking very weak. Anything else from you, Carmen? That's one attack.
No, I think that'll be it. That's it.
Okay. Grigori,
Question.
there's now
am
space.
There's no space. I am 8 points from full.
Yep.
So, Demands of Nessus says that the chosen ally loses 10 hit points and this creature regains the same number. Since I only need 8, do I have to suck a full 10 off of him and I get 8? Or can I only suck 8 off of him and get 8?
You suck 10 off and you only get 8.
All right. So seeing the laying still on the ground and seeing the octopus rear up, I look at it and Tower has that sensation of life being sucked out of him, and he loses.
But okay, while you're conscious, you can choose.
No, yeah, that's why I'm choosing Tower instead of Zola or whoever was closer to me.
Fair enough. All right. So, Tower, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, we had to change phones.
All right. We'll give Carl a moment. Just letting you know, the octopus loses 10 hit points.
Okay.
And Grigori gains 8.
So Zola is still standing over Grigori, right?
Yes.
But it's an ice boat, and water's been slapping around, so it's probably a little, like, smooth. So he's just going to, like, grab the sides and, like, slip in between Zola's legs. So he's in the middle there. And then he's just going to try to grab the creature that's right next to him and cast Inflict Wounds.
All right. 27 is definitely going to hit. Creature takes 14 points of necrotic damage. Its skin, the water underneath the armor, begins to turn a blackish green as you hit it and affect it. It is now also very weak. Anything else from you?
I think that's it. Yep, I'm done.
Yep. I believe...
actually, no. I'm going to use the sorcerer point to increase the damage on that, actually. I forgot about this.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's been a while since I've done it. Sorry. I've got... where is it? Font of Magic, Meta Magic, Empowered Spell. Use a sorcery point to up the damage dice. So I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to up the damage dice by 2 points, which the damage dice on that spell is D10s.
Quick.
All right, so an extra 17 damage.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
Almost enough to kill. Drops him down to single figures. Okay. It would be Averine, who I'm assuming is just going to cast a firebolt, which will... 18 will hit. 8 points of fire damage is enough to kill the water elemental Myrmidon. The creature dies. All right. That'll be it for Averine. The last Myrmidon is... Got to make the con save, yep. It's a 14. Does that save?
No, my AC is my DC 15.
So roll the damage again.
Sorry, I'll roll 20.
I'll roll 20's gone.
I'll roll 20's gone. I'm again.
Oh, okay. How much is it? It's 2d10?
2d10.
8. Okay. All right. On his turn, seeing that moonbeam, he is going to move. He's quite angry.
Attack of opportunity with the...
Go ahead and make the attack of opportunity.
I can't do it.
True, you can do it. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Let me pull up the sheet for, not for Tower, for the...
Do you have a roll 20 up on your phone?
No, I can't. It's just not...
Yep. Please remain calm. All right, so giant octopus is going to make a tentacle attack.
Yeah.
And it crits.
Yeah!
All right. The damage is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. You, as it's trying to escape from you, you send your tentacle out. It wraps right around the watery form, grabs onto the armor, suckers it in tight, and then squeezes the life out of the Myrmidon, killing that creature.
Well done.
Well done, guys.
I'm gonna grab for Artist there. Try to get him out of the water.
As the boat is moving along, you just kind of grab the scruff of his neck and pull him in to the water.
Hearty back pat.
Mm-hmm. Well, Did we win?
Yep.
Good. Good. Everyone's still alive.
Think so.
Yeah. Good.
Octopus confirms.
All right. Well, if our boats are still good, I guess. And he swims through the water. He'll go and take up a seat next to Averine. I guess it's us now. Let's go.
Artie,
Yeah.
when you use the stuff that you do, you know the thing.
Yeah.
Does it like suck people's lives out of them or something?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't do
You-
it. If
you did
the
your
only
thing.
Yeah.
You did your thing, and I felt suddenly extremely nauseous, and like I was gonna keel over.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl. That was not me.
It must have been the water thingies.
Must have been.
Zola, if you come over here, I can attempt to identify any magical effects that are affecting you.
Who are you
Greg-
referring to? I do not know this person.
Greco will want to heal Zola. Yes, Lockley, come over here and we'll take care of you.
So I'll use everybody's clothes to like hang on to them.
Luckily, roll a wisdom save.
Who's there?
If this is a magical effect, I have advantage.
You do have advantage.
And you're still blessed.
Okay. Cool. Keep going.
Clearly, I'm referring to your surname. I always address people by their last names. Lockley Zola. I don't know why you have to make things so difficult. I'm trying to help you
Greco
here.
Greco heals you for 5.
Cool.
So, we good to go?
Shadow switch with me. Then we'll be good to go.
Is
I
everybody?
mean, we're heading down. Like Shago's in the back now.
Yeah, so let's put him in the front.
All right.
There you go. Great.
So you can just sit with your paddle and like steer and not have to row.
Well, he's got armor on and he's got a shield and he's got a spear that he can feed through the
Oh,
shield.
fair
So
point.
he's like a little barrier.
Sure.
He digs a little bit of groove into the ice, sticks the end of his shield in, and then his spear. Sorry, go ahead, Tower. I keep interrupting you.
It's all right. Right. No, I just wanted to know how long we had in the day.
This is fairly early on in the day. You've still got plenty of time.
Okay. I took a bit of a beating there, so Tower might reform into himself and cast healing spirit.
Okay.
I mean, if you, how does that work as a player? So when you turn into a creature, how does that work with your HP? Is it just same HP?
You can suck. No, I get the HP of the creature, and then I get my own HP.
Okay.
So once the HP of the creature goes down to 0 hit points, it goes onto my HP. But I took 24 points before I managed to change, so I was down to 12.
Grigori will want to heal you at level 2.
It's all right. I've just cast healing spirit. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Steven sent me his instructions. He's healing everybody. Woo!
Well, Tower will cast the healing spirit. It'll float out into the river, and then you will all kind of line up the boats. Everyone passes through.
That's
You then move the spirit up. Everyone passes through. So you keep the momentum going and moving through this healing spirit as you do. So everyone will be up at maximum hit points before you get to any additional encounters on this day. All right. You continue heading south. Did you want to do any sort of investigation about the magical effect on Zola?
If she comes near me, I will cast Identify on her.
What
yeah,
happened
yeah.
to the bodies? What happened to the bodies of these things, by the way?
The water elemental form just dissipated into the water.
Into the water.
The broken and damaged plate armor just sank to the bottom.
Yeah.
Can I create shaped water to push those back up?
You can, but the plate armor is damaged to such a degree that it's not usable.
Easy for you.
The one that you attacked was crushed by your octopus form.
Fair enough.
All right, you'll get
So
your
I'll-
plate eventually. Yep.
I'll be like, Greco, catch me, and I'll jump at him.
Acrobatics check. You'll succeed. It's how smooth you do so. Okay, you easily
Like a
just
swan.
hop
Like
over.
butter. Like butter.
All right.
I mean, we are in boats. We could just like pull up next to each other, and Everine could like just be right
Nah.
next to you. I mean,
Let me show off.
too easy.
All right. So you cast Identify on Zola, and there's nothing negative affecting her anymore. There's
So
no magical effect on her.
I'll put my hand on the back of my hand on her forehead. Are you feeling all right, dear? You look fine, and I don't detect anything upon your person.
Well, after all that healing magic, yeah, I'm great.
Greco does a medicine check. Like same deal. Like doctor. Like, do you feel okay? Is your skin the right color?
There was
You look
a hot
peakish.
flash that preceded everything. It was like
Oh,
when
you're too young for that.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, she's got a disease. He rolls a natural 1 on his medicine check.
No, I don't.
No. See, that was the wrong. That was not the right sheet. No,
That
this
was
is
actually
there.
Gregorius. Okay.
Yeah, that was
That
Gregorius.
makes
Yeah.
You're definitely fine, Zola. But you do. He is able to tell that you have been damaged magically. It's been re-stitched together, but the wounds that have been taken, you have some wounds on you that are physical wounds that have been healing through the magic, so slices from the tridents and whatnot. But there is evidence of wounding from the inside out. Like flesh getting a little bit rotten from the inside before it would have been necrotic, before then being healed completely.
Has anybody seen those things before? Is that something they
History
can do?
or religion checks from anyone interested.
Can you roll for me, Aaron? Because I imagine with hit points in every count something like this.
I can roll for you. Carmen, would you like me to roll for you as well?
Yeah, please, thank you.
That's what we get into it.
I don't know why I got 20.
I can't seem to get into it.
Yeah. It's a -1 either way for Tower. Carmen. History. I'm assuming you're better at history. 15. Okay. All right. Averine, you have heard of this kind of thing before. And it kind of, unfortunately, feeds into your suspicion of the whole, this guy is a servant of Asmodeus, as you are aware that this is the demands of Nisus. Something similar to that, in that Zola has been fed on by dark magic. You connect the dots that Grigori was unconscious and then became conscious at the same time, and you understand that Grigori must have the demands of Nisus placed upon him.
Sorry, can I just clarify, because we were getting confused? Did Tower Ice get fed on?
He did, but he get fed on while he was in the octopus form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he can express that he felt something as well.
Okay.
So, I'll drop that.
Does, yeah.
Okay.
more important stuff going on. Sorry.
How would Averine handle that knowledge?
Question.
Say, Grigori, what do you know of all this?
What do I? Okay, I rolled
What was your history roll?
a 12 religion. I didn't roll history. I can roll history too if you'd like.
12 religion. Okay.
12 religion. And there's a history roll if you want it. Oh.
And you've heard of this sort of thing happening, but you had no idea it was on you.
Well, and I still don't. I mean, so there are certain things that feed off of one or the other. I don't know these creatures in the water. I don't know if they were trying to feed off of Zola to heal themselves. They came after me pretty quickly, and then Zola, I fell unconscious. When I woke up, Zola was above me, so maybe they were trying to get rid of her to get at me. I don't know.
Is there, so do I know what the effect is. Do I know why it would be granted to one? Is it a blessing? Is it a curse? Is it something you get in exchange for something else?
It is both a blessing and a curse, never given in exchange for something. Specifically for those watching, the demands of Nisus is something that came with Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. At the start of each of this creature's turns, this creature can choose one ally it can see within 30 feet of it. The chosen ally loses 10 hit points, and this creature regains the same number of hit points. If the creature is incapacitated, it makes no choice. Instead, the closest ally within 30 feet is the chosen ally.
And out of game, so the internet doesn't get mad at us. Yes, if Grigori was unconscious, he couldn't normally do that because dying is different than incapacitated. But for this to show up for this one time, that was okay, right?
Even still, within the rules, an unconscious creature is incapacitated.
I will take it. Even better.
You've got to remember that. So it does work in this exact way. This is a blessing and a curse. It forces Grigori to stay alive. It also forces Grigori to feed off of anyone close to him. So in the cases where you've heard of this blessing being given, it's usually used to not only boost up servants, but also to alienate them from anyone that might corrupt them. Okay.
All right, so I'll pull Zola aside. Say, Zola.
I don't know where you're gonna pull her to.
Zola, I know you're sweet on that one, but he has some foul magics upon him, a blessing from those in the hells. I don't know if it's a conscious thing he does, or if it's a thing he does without his own input. But it seems awfully convenient that at the moment you felt sickened, he recovered immediately from those mortal wounds.
How sure are you?
I'm very sure.
Can I overhear this?
The boats aren't going to be very far, so unless Averine was specifically trying to make sure that Grigori didn't hear.
That was the intention of the pulling aside.
Yeah.
Okay.
In which case, you're not going to hear.
Yeah. My perception score is terrible anyway.
Do you want to? What's okay? So, I heard he came back.
It appears that he stole some of your vitality.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure that Grigori would not hurt me intentionally. But if you think that this is something you should talk to him about and maybe examine, then maybe we should talk to him about it.
When we're out at the river, perhaps we'll have more words.
Sounds good. If you're worried about him having done that intentionally, I don't think that was it.
Well, I don't know that one could do something intentionally while they're unconscious, but certainly it is a thing to be aware of.
Okay, I'm gonna go back now.
Okay. Then as you guys get back onto your boats and begin to sail back down, we are going to end the session there tonight, folks. We will continue the adventure same time next week as we explore the area south of Mesron, potentially get to Kirsabal next week, but also we explore this situation and this blessing that is upon Grigori right now. As a reminder, everyone, thank you again for all of the follows and the subscriptions. You guys are incredible, and we really, really appreciate the support. Orc Machine, if you haven't already done so, message Crituitous RP through Twitch, and we will send you that dice. Tune in next week for another dice giveaway as part of our Who's That Monster? And if you haven't already seen it, down beneath the description area, you'll see a contest link. There we go. To enter to win a legendary bundle from D&D Beyond. We hit our goal, our benchmark, 100 followers last week. We're very grateful. Keep it coming, guys. Keep the follows coming. We appreciate it. If you would like to follow us, we are on Twitter at Crituitous RP. I am at Teo the DM. We are crituitousrp.tumblr.com. And as a note, next week, we will not only have this session on Saturday, but we will also be starting Half Rate Heroes on a Sunday night. So tune in next week for that. Thank you very much, and good night.
Night.